Hi everyone. This video is going to be a little bit different. Not so much a rant, but maybe a rant. We'll see how it comes across. So I just wanted to talk about some customer service pet peeves of mine. Or of everybody's. So I've worked in customer service for 10 years now. Yeah, coming up on 10 years. I love it, but I hate it. Like, I have this love-hate relationship with it. I love working with people, I love talking to people, but I love talking to people that are nice. You're not one of those nice people. So I've worked in different types of customer service. I've worked, like with food and insurance and bank, pretty much everywhere. I've worked in like lots of different places. I really do love it. I just feel like there's this type of person, and you guys know it, where I'm just like, I don't get it. But it comes from both ends of the spectrum. So whether you give bad customer service or you receive bad customer service, it's like a two-sided coin. And I just feel like more people have to be nicer. And I'm one of those people that I do not believe that the customer is always right. 100% you are not always right. And neither is the person who works at whatever place you go to, retail store, whatever. Today, perfect example. I got something online and it didn't fit me. So I went to the physical store because I had read in the paper that it says I can return it for, the online credit. But obviously that was gonna take time. It was gonna be more money because they don't cover the shipping. So I'm like, I'm just gonna go to the store and see if they have it. So I was speaking to the girl and I was like, hey, do you have this in stock? She looks in her system, she says no. I was like, okay. And mind you, I'm the only one there. So she is helping me. She's like, oh, well, this mall has it in stock. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. And I was like, oh, well, do you mind calling for me to see if I can go get it? So she's like, hold on. She goes and talks to her coworker while I'm there. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? You just walked away? And then instead of coming back to me, a line had started to form for people to purchase stuff. And she starts helping them instead of coming back and helping me. Like, I was there. I want to return something. Like, it blew my mind. And the thing is, I'm also not one of those people, because I've been on both sides. I don't always stand up for myself when I should. I should have been like, hey, you were helping me, like, come finish helping me or get someone to help me, but she didn't. And instead she starts helping these people. Other guy walks around, instead of saying like, hey, did you need anything? 'Cause I'm at the counter. He walks right by me and starts helping her too. And then she yells at me from across the long counter. She's like, oh, well, you can call them yourself. Okay. Thanks a lot. Like, to me, that was like really bad customer service. You were helping me. You should own it from start to finish. I asked you if you could call them and you say yes and you walk away from me and then start helping other people. That's extremely rude. So don't do that. And that's in retail. I always feel so bad for people in retail because I know, like, one, I hate folding clothes. I hang on my clothes. I don't believe in folding clothes. I don't know what it is. I don't like it. So I know that's a huge thing too. It's like, can't you just put it right back? But I also know that you can't really fold it the same way that people do. But that was my experience just today. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Why? Like, why can't you just be nice all the way through? That's one thing. Then, like, if you go to drive-thrus or inside of a fast food place, because I used to work at Starbucks at one point for a very long time. But it was one of those things where, like, to me, in any drive-through circumstance, if you're going through the drive-through, that means you drive through. That means you know what you want and you go through. It's not for you to sit there and look at the menu for, 10 plus minutes. If that's what you want to do, that's what the lobby's for. Go inside, stand in there and look at the menu and then decide to order. But also, don't do that when you walk straight up to the counter. That's rude too. You're having them wait, and then if there's people behind you, you're having them wait. Like, know what you want before you go to order. That's just, like, this is gonna turn into a rant. It really is. Like, for drive-thrus, that's just one of my pet peeves. If you are gonna go through a drive-thru, then you should know what you want. If you don't know what you want, then walk inside. That's why there's two sections. One to go a lot faster and one for you to wait. But like I said, if you're in line, start looking at what you want, start preparing. I hate when people like get up and then they don't have anything ready. They don't have, their credit card, or like, how you're gonna pay. If you're gonna pay in cash, if you're gonna pay in a card, whatever, have it ready. Goodness. Another one of my pet peeves is people who complain about lines are the same ones who make the line. Like, you come up to me and you don't have anything ready. You don't know what you want. You don't know what you want to do. You like are completely unprepared. And the first thing out of your mouth is, why is there a line? I wish I could just be like, because of people like you. Like, that would be it. People like you are why there are lines. But obviously, when you work in the customer service industry, you can't, and you're just like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about that. How can I help you? you to make it all better, even though it is your fault. You know, it's hard. It's hard to have the patience and be able to stay perky and bubbly and whatever. So if you ever have anybody offering you amazing customer service, please tell them. It really makes their day. Anytime somebody tells me or one of my coworkers that we did a really great job, that they love seeing us, or anything super positive, it really means the world, because we really do try very hard. And just think about it. Think about like how many people we must see in a day, and the average of nice versus not nice people, and how we have to stay above it all throughout the whole day, every day. And so I just give a lot of props to people who work in the industry and just like go above and beyond, or at least like are happy. Like you can tell are happy to see you. I went out with my friends last week, I think, and one of our servers, she was amazing, would come back and check on us, everything okay, da-da-da. When she left and another person took over, never saw her, not once, you know. And we were just waiting there probably for like 15 minutes, like so that we could just ask for our bill. And then some other lady came, like, and I was like, hey, do you mind if we get our bill? And she was like, yeah, do you remember who your server was? I told her, like, well, the first girl, I think she went on break, and the second one, she's over there talking at a different table. She really was. She was standing at another table talking to like a friend. Like it wasn't taking an order, and I know because she was just like leaning on it and just like, hey, like what's up, whatever, you know. And then it sucks when it gets to the tip process, because it's like you never know where your tips go, and that's a whole other thing. That's not a pet peeve of mine, but it is one of those things where I want my tip to go to the server I want it to go to. I wish that places would tell you how they distribute tips. Do the tips go to the chefs, the bus boys, bus girls, to your server, or is it just to your server, or is it split amongst servers? Because I've worked somewhere where they add all the tips of the week and then they divide it by the hours of individuals that worked, and then it gets distributed equally. That way, like, you know, if one day you had $20 of tips and the next day nobody tipped, at least those people would get something. So it would make the tipping process a lot easier if you knew how it was distributed. Because I don't like when, especially when they go on breaks, like I want it to go to this person, not you. And then if you were horrible to me throughout my whole experience, I don't want to tip you, but because I don't know if it goes to other people, if it's split, I feel forced to tip you. So it's just one of those things too. Plus you always want to be nice. You never know. I heard nothing ever happened at where I used to work, but the people who transferred to my store told me horror stories of what they used to do to people's drinks, and I'm just like, you can be really mean to me and I still will not like do some of the things they did. Like when people say they spit and they do stuff, they do, believe me. I think the only bad thing I ever did to someone, and she was a horrible human being who was just being so mean to my coworker, instead of making her drink caffeinated, I made it decaf. That's the worst I've ever done to somebody. But hey, I don't think she ever even noticed. It was all in her head because she still came back and she never said anything about it, so I figure she didn't know. Another pet peeve of mine is when they cut you off. If somebody asks you a question and you start answering it, right, with what you know can help or whatever, but they don't like the way that's sounding, like they already hear it finishing off their head and then they cut you off, and then you're just like, because I had someone do that to me. I started explaining something and they cut me off and like, no, and I'm like, well, I'm trying to, well, give me another option. I'm like, I don't have enough, like, I'm sorry, that's it. And it's just, some people take things so personal, and they really, it's very like, kill the messenger. I don't make the rules. I don't, you know, make policy. I just follow it. So stop trying to attack the little person when really it's the big company. And I've had some people say that we've told them like, hey, we can get fired if we do this. They're like, so do it anyways. I'm just like, you would want us to get fired over whatever? Like, it makes no sense to me. Some people just like, I don't know. It blows my mind how some people can just be. Maybe the last one for right now, just because I can go on for a long time, is just remember, call centers and real people, they're both real people, but call centers and the people you see when you actually go to whatever, they're not the same person. So don't take it out on them. Don't take it out on them, and don't take it out on them, because it's not their fault. Like individually, if you have a bad experience over here, don't go to like the store or wherever you're gonna go of that facility and take it out on the human being in front of you. That's not fair. Same thing with over here. And I had to tell my mom, she had an issue with a bank one day and she called and she was waiting, and I'm like, hey, just remember, the person you talked to, it wasn't their fault that this branch did that. So don't take it out on them. You know, it's not fair, because we've had that. We've had people come in and be like, you know, I was on hold, or I was talking to your representative for 2+ hours, whatever, and they couldn't help me. And then they come in and they're like, they just start attacking you. And it's like, I'm so sorry for your experience, but it wasn't us, you know? So I hold to the fact that our society is screwed because we let adults throw tantrums. To me, every person, whether whether you're on one side or the other of the fence, like I said, it doesn't matter because there's both sides to it. You know, you can be a good customer and get horrible customer service, or you can give good customer service but be a horrible customer. There's both sides to it. If you let those people get away with the whole customer's always right thing, that just makes it so that they feel like they can keep doing it, because you know those people do it on a daily basis. The ones who come in and complain to you because now there's kiosks at McDonald's or kiosks in the bank or at Home Depot or whatever, and I'm just like, do they do that at every single place that they go? Like, do they complain about it everywhere that they go? Because I'm just like, oh, you can't do anything about it. It's not these places that are doing it, it's the big man on top. So why are you taking it out on them? Just don't use it, or use it. I mean, I love to use it when there's a long line. You know, I go to Target, hey, I have one thing, scan it, I'm out, done. So it's like the little things. So to me, when somebody comes and they start yelling, if I could just tell them how it is and be like, no, you're in the wrong, or not even like that, if I just said like, you're in the wrong, this and this, even if it's super civil, you can't do that, because people could lose their jobs. And it's just so sad that we live in a society like that, and that's why we're screwed. That's why there are these adults throwing temper tantrums like they're 2-year-olds. You don't let a little kid start like throw themselves against things and just cry and whine. When you give them what they want, that's why there are certain brats in the world, because those kids know, hey, I'm gonna cry and scream and yell, and I'm only gonna stop when they give me this. They're gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna do it again and again and again. And that's how these adults are. They're just grown brats. They come in and think that they can just yell and that they're gonna get what they want. And because they do get what they want at certain places, they're just gonna keep doing it. And it's so sad. And it's just like, tries your patience. I try so hard. I'm just like, breathe, like you smile, and then it's one of those things too where it's like, oh, you're not taking my problem seriously because you're smiling, or oh, you have a serious face, you know, you're probably so annoyed that I'm bringing this to your attention. It's like, you can't win. But I feel like if more companies back their employees, just obviously like in a civil way, don't treat them also like they're stupid. Don't be like, oh, you're dumb because you're doing, no, be like, this is the reason and why and whatever, and just, you know, because we've had people yell and curse and call us names and whatever, and you still have to be civil when they leave. Isn't that crazy? It's like, some people take things to the extreme. Are you having that bad of a day? Is that what it is? Go get a massage. Like, oh my god. So yeah, I really do believe that people who are insensitive as adults are just getting their way because no one will put them in their place. Too many companies are scared of them, you know, but I feel like you have more good customers that'll keep you in business, that you can afford to let them know what's up. You know, you can let them know, hey, you gotta be nicer, you gotta respect people. If they didn't teach you that when you were younger, we can teach you when you're grown. Alright, well, that's where I'm gonna end it today. Thanks for watching. Thanks for letting me get this off my chest. These are just a couple of things. I just spit. But they're all true, and I'm sure you've been on the one end or the other. And let me know in the comments below, which have you been? What customer experiences have you had? In what industry? Yeah, let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed, even though this did end up being a rant. I know it did. I went off. Thanks again so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye!